Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about how to remove unfavorable circumstances when you're seeing the opposite of what you want in your physical reality, what to do, how to handle it, and how are those actually going to be removed so you don't have to panic, spiral, or waver. And that's going to be my advice today, so you do want to keep watching. I have loads of different points to go over. I even have an Einstein quote that is very relevant to this that shows you guys the literal scientific physics research that ties into manifestation. For anyone considering coaching or who wants some extra support and is struggling with their manifestation, you can click the links in my description box to read through it, click the join button, as well as having everything popped on screen regarding my coaching offers and any extra support that you guys can get beyond my free social content. So take a look if that's of interest to you and you feel that you need that support. We've had quite a few new members sign up already. I literally just launched LOA Coaching Darlings afresh at the beginning of the month, so thank you guys to everyone who's joined so far. Now let's jump right into the content. So the first thing that you want to do is stop putting focus on the circumstances. Stop thinking about them, stop analyzing them, stop putting that as the dominant focus for what you think about and your overall focus, because if you keep thinking about it and applying repetition to something unfavorable, you're holding it in place. That's obviously the main principle of manifestation. If you keep mentioning it or worrying about it, then how do you think you're going to get rid of that in your reality? That's not the rule. Keep talking about something negative and it will fade away. It erases it. That's just not the way it works, right? It's the opposite. Or if you want to keep it in place, or if you want to keep something positive in place, then apply repetition. But if you want to get rid of something, act as if it doesn't exist. You don't have to believe it, you don't have to feel it, obviously, because that would be very, very difficult to do if that was the only way to manifest, but it's just about the repetition. So stop repeating something that you don't want. That's kind of the first simplified overview, and then I'm going to break it down to you guys how to actually do that. Because analyzing it does absolutely nothing for your manifestation. You're not going to gain anything. You're not going to improve your circumstances or gain clarity. You might find maybe, some logical, rational and intellectual solutions. And maybe your mind will say, well, this is how to handle it. This is how to keep yourself safe. This is how to prevent rejection. But ultimately, those are physical actions that will not guarantee the outcome you want. It's taking physical action. It's impacting your physical reality. But with your mindset and repetition and manifestation techniques, that's how you're going to get rid of the problem, of the circumstances, and have things shift around to be favorable, to be what you do want and what you're focusing on as the end result. But if you analyze the circumstances, yes, of course, you might find a logical or intellectual solution, maybe reaching out to your SP. But first of all, that could backfire, might not result the way you want, you might not hear what you want. And even if you do resolve something, it's not going to create permanent results, because trying to control your 3D or think, well, these are the problems, these are the circumstances I don't like, so I'm going to take action. It's not going to create a permanent result of everything shifting around the way you want, because you're forcing the 3D. The circumstances that you experience and that you're seeing right now, first of all, anything negative, they're temporary. So remember, they don't last forever. You're holding it in place a little bit, like you are kind of creating permanence by putting your focus on it. But that doesn't mean permanent for your entire life, like it's unchangeable. No, of course not. But you are holding it in place and making it permanent in the sense that it's going to be present in your reality. It's not going to be gone by tomorrow morning if you keep putting focus on it. So you have to remember that the circumstances are temporary. They're things from the past. Remind yourself, I'm in the present moment now. I can decide going forward what I create, where I put my focus, and that's just temporary. That's just a past issue. That's a past conversation, a past problem I've had. I don't identify with that now. I'm not going to focus on that. I choose a new version of my reality and then keep going forward in that day by day, thought by thought. Just build on it in the moment. You don't have to shift everything around completely and perfectly. Just put in the effort in the moment and then keep going and keep going. But remember that the circumstances are temporary, things from the past, they're irrelevant, they don't define anything, you define your reality. Now, as I said, there is a little something from Albert Einstein. I really enjoy his quotes and appreciate his work and everything, all the research and, everything he's spoken about. So he has been referenced a lot in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work as well, in the book. I don't remember the name, but it's about quantum physics and how he's literally disproven theories by Sir Isaac Newton, Rene Descartes, who who initially had like discovered new theories and concepts and phenomenons, like things to do with physics and just the way the world works and laws of the universe. And Einstein literally just disproved certain things, and a lot of his quotes are just very inspiring. So the one that I've picked out today that fits in with circumstances is: all conditions and all circumstances in our lives are a result of a certain level of thinking. If we want to change the conditions and circumstances, we have to change the level of thinking that is responsible for it. So again, he's literally reaffirming what we're talking about here with law of assumption. If you want to change what's going on, you have to change your way of thinking. You cannot continue something exactly the same and expect a different result. You can't think exactly the same thoughts and then think, well, everything around me will shift. That's not the way it's going to work. So as I said, your rational, logical mind will create, assumptions tying into your circumstances and literally what's going on around you. That's always just the natural way your mind will work consciously. But it's just reaffirming existing beliefs and creating a cycle, and you don't want to get into this negative loop. You want to break that. You want to change your mindset. You want to start thinking from the end result, start reaffirming your affirmations, what it is you're literally creating, this one end result. Maybe you could identify in a scene and then say, I'm just going to keep reminding myself as if I'm experiencing it right now. Maybe holding hands with your SP, on a date with your SP, at your dream job, you're walking into the office space, into the workspace, whatever it is. Think of a specific scene and then build on from that and say, that is my reality, that is what I have right now, and reaffirm that. Because if you just reaffirm existing beliefs by focusing on circumstances, reacting mentally to circumstances, that's what's going to be held in place. So it's all about continuing to build, and like I said, it's not you're magically or in a difficult way completely shifting all your beliefs and just the way you live your life. It's built up, it's quite subtle, and you just take it day by day. So there's no need to be overwhelmed by it. You just want to keep focusing on creating those new beliefs. And yeah, it does take self-discipline, willpower to create new habits, new thought patterns, a new way of thinking. It is going to require mental effort on your part, being able to put aside that time, prioritize, and I guess essentially work hard at it, but just really putting in the effort to shift the way you think. It's going to feel a bit weird at first, but yeah, you need that consistency, that structure of saying, I'm going to apply my mental diet, I'm going to flip my thoughts, I'm going to think from the end result, all these different elements of reaffirming the version that you want of your reality and not reaffirming the past circumstances or issues and saying, this is what's going on, this is the problem in my reality. Because you're telling your mind, this is what's going on right now. And it's going to be harder to work past it. So yeah, the willpower, the self-discipline to put in the effort and change things around, even if at first it feels like an unnatural way of thinking, putting in that effort is going to build up new habits, change the way you think. So yeah, that is ultimately what you're working towards, what you're doing, changing into more of a positive mindset. Your attention is literally also the only thing holding it in place. So as I said, not only are these temporary, remind yourself of that, that's part of a mental diet as well, to not catastrophize everything, right? And say, oh, everything's ruined, everything's so difficult because of XYZ. You don't want to slow down movement, but you want to remember it's temporary, it's things from the past, it's not things that are a present objective block. Your attention is the only thing holding it in place. So by your focus on it, you're saying, okay, I'm deciding my reality will have this in place. I'm deciding this is going to still be part of my reality. By focusing on your mind, you're inadvertently deciding, I'm going to hold on to this. That's what your subconscious is going to get from it. So remember, it's temporary, and you have the ability, by shifting your focus, putting your attention onto made up thoughts, right? Like telling yourself, oh no, my reality's perfect. I'm with SP. I have my dream job. I have my dream life. By saying that, you're reaffirming the new story to your mind way more than anything negative. So what you can also do is apply a mental diet when this comes up, when you're reminded of a circumstance. Apply your mental diet. As I said, reaffirm the new story, whether it's with one affirmation, like your actual affirmations, that works perfectly, or maybe a couple to choose from. Maybe it could be a blanket one. There's nothing wrong with that. I would probably say get a bit more specific if a circumstance is what's holding you back mentally, but it could be something like, isn't it wonderful? My life's amazing, my relationship is perfect. It can be something a bit more general, and then you can pick from a handful where okay, in the moment, this is what I'm going to repeat to myself. So really it comes down to having thoughts from the end result. Think as if it's already yours. Think as if you already have it. I did say at the beginning of the video, I believe, picking a specific scene or implication of what your end result looks like, what your reality is like, and saying, okay, so I have my relationship with my SP, everything's perfect, we have this amazing life together, kind of deciding what your reality would look like with that in it, and then thinking from that. Making up a little story, having an inner conversation, however you want to do it. It's about repeating that to yourself, the new version of your reality, as if it's already here. You can visualize it. You can just, tell your mind, oh, I love going on dates with SP. I love going to my perfect job every day. Whatever it is, you tell yourself and remind yourself, it's here right now. Those other circumstances are, you don't even think about it, but they're irrelevant, they don't matter, they're in the past, and then they are no longer true. So you reaffirm what you want as if it's already here right now. Repeat your affirmations in the moment, visualize and tell your mind as if it's already here right now. What kind of thoughts would you have if you had that manifestation right now? So that kind of summarizes everything of how to handle it, what to say to yourself and kind of do mentally when it comes up in the moment, and why those circumstances don't even matter, why it should be quite simple to tell yourself these affirmations until they become true. It's really down to the repetition. So that is going to be today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, found this useful. If you did, then please do thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.